Hey yo, this is Delta Tango Mike, and here with another Thriving Artist Art Life short. It is March 29th of Start Now 2020, and if you've been following some of these Art Life shorts, then you know that I share a little bit about my experience. I share some examples of how we can improve on our art life, and I encourage you to take one more step towards your goals, towards your definition of success, towards that art career that you really want, that is going to take a series of steps by step by step by step. Don't look at the big to-do list. Don't let it intimidate you with all these things that we have to do, because there are a lot of steps and there's a lot of things that we do daily to continue a thriving artist art life. But just focus on that first step, just one step. Whatever step you're in, focus on that step, finish that step, and then set your mind and actions toward the next one. It's a little bit easier. There's a saying that says, how do you, or a question or a joke or something like that says, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. It's a little nasty, I'm sorry. But the point is that you don't look at the whole and let that stop you. You go ahead and figure out, well, what step can I do today? And I need to focus on that right now. So with that in mind, we're going to talk about goals. All right. So there are 4 steps to the art life, and I call them that. Probably come up with a better name as time goes on. I've been sharing these 4 steps for a long time, and I still don't have an actual name. Maybe I wrote it down somewhere and I forgot. In any case, it is 4 steps to the art life. They are vision, goals, planning, and calendar. All right, that's 4 things. And in each one of those 4 things, there's a ton of little details, a ton of little things that need to be discussed and properly expressed so that you can understand and take those steps that you need. But I like to break them up into 4 major parts and then talk about them. And so a few days ago, I talked about having those 4 steps in your art life, and helping guide you through your path as a creative, right? Because some of us just create to create and be happy just in the creative process. And then some of us decide that this is the kind of life that we want to live and earn from. And we define success by our own experience and by what we want in our life, and part of that success is earning enough to pay off our bills so that we don't have a second job. And so these are some of this. So where was I going with that? I don't know. I said I have my notes and then I forget where I was going. Okay, so for those of us that decide that this is what we want in our lives, and we don't want to have a second job, and the second job could be totally unrelated to art, then we have to really put down a lot of work outside of just the art, outside of just drawing. And so I've shared some of those things, and I shared this series so that for those of us who want to figure out the art business, the business of art, so that we can have a thriving artist art life. All right, so I talked about vision. And in the last video, that's what I was going somewhere earlier. In any case, so I talked about the vision, goals, planning, and calendar, and how I use it. And then the last video, I explained and shared my experience with vision. So today I'm just going to talk about goals, and I think I still have a little bit of time. Okay, thank you. Stop it. And so when it comes to goals, and let's use the 2 examples that I've been using. Number 1, it was my experience when I had a vision for what I wanted. I wanted a warehouse, right? I wanted a warehouse, a place where I draw. I didn't have an idea what that warehouse looked like or how it was going to happen. I just knew that that's what I wanted. And my vision has developed and continued to evolve until now I have the space. It's really about the space for me. So now I have my space that I want. And then I got another vision for another space. In any case, it's my experience. The other example is, what if you were running a marathon and you're at the starting line, and now you're taking off, right? Boom, the gun goes off and everybody starts running, and but you don't know where the finish line is. And that's where vision comes into play. You have to know where the finish line is, and visualize yourself there, and then so that you know when you've reached success or when you've reached your vision, right? You have to have a finish line. And that football players also have this vision where they see themselves scoring a touchdown, and then they have a dance that goes with it, or a move, and they visualize that, and then when they actually hit this touchdown, they actually do the move. Well, the step before that is goals. So how do you prepare for a marathon? How do you prepare to get on the football field? How do you prepare to see your vision as a creative, as an artist, right? So my vision was in a warehouse or a workspace where I just have tons of art materials, tons of things that I need for my own creativity, and I have it. I got it here. I got it. Then I have a warehouse right now with a bunch more stuff. So I have plenty of art materials right now. And that to allow me to just create all day in and out. And so, but the goals that I need to reach to have this space, to have those materials, there's a series of those goals that I've had to accomplish. And the very first one is paying rent at home, paying rent at a second space, right? So I have to earn enough money to not just pay for my life, for my regular bills, but for the second space where I get to have my art stuff. So that's one goal. Second goal would be, well, how many clients does that take? Right? How much work do I need to be able to do? Just another goal. Third goal will be what my portfolio needs to look like to find those clients that are going to pay me that money. All right? So that's another goal. Portfolio. So a fourth goal would be, well, what do I need to do? What kind of portfolio pieces need to be in this portfolio? So then that's another goal. And so as you start breaking down the things that you're going to need to do to reach this vision, they become goals. So if we're running a marathon, and then you say, okay, well, the marathon is in July, right? So we'll take that Peachtree Road Race. Cool, it's in July, it's however long. Cool, well, right now, a few months out, 3 months out, something like that, it's time to go ahead and train. So it's however long that marathon is. By June, I should be able to run that amount of a distance without a problem. And so that's one goal in June. So in May, I need to be able to run half as long or 3/4 of it and without a problem in May. So that's in April, which will be next month in a few days. I need to be able to run at least half of it or 1/4 of it without a problem. And that means right now I need to get up and start running. I need to run to the store, run to the corner, or just walk fast, right? Get my breathing right. I need to breathe correctly. So those are a series of goals. Right? Plus you want to look good. So wardrobe, I need to go buy some certain things. I need to stop at certain stores. Right now, it's all mostly going to be ordering online. I need to find those things, right? And so on. And before you even start training, you get a doctor checkup. Check on your heart, depending on how old you are and what's your health status and so on, right? So those are a series of goals which are really like to-dos, but they're very involved. So it's more than a to-do. It's like very involved, that you're going to have to put a lot of thought into it to reach those goals. And those are the things that we do in everyday life. And so like when I had the goal or the vision for my art warehouse, the steps were need to have double the money so I can pay rent at home, pay rent at the new studio. I need to have the clientele that pays me that kind of money. I need to have a portfolio that attracts those clients to pay me that kind of money. I need to spend the time working on that portfolio so that I can, keep going on and on. I need to think about, well, what are those clients like? What is that market like? Where do I find those clients so that I can make sure that I adjust my portfolio so that I can match up with those clients to get that money to help afford for things. And so those are goals that I had to sit down and work on. Not only did I work on my portfolio, did I look at the market and say, well, this is the kind of client that I need. So this is the kind of artwork that I need to work on. So then I worked on it. I went out and looked for those clients. I've been to a lot of events. So right now it's not an easy thing to do, but online, I still make a lot of connections online. I tag companies, I tag PR people, I tag different art directors that are in certain positions, creative directors that are in certain positions that allow me to continue to build on my brand and find those connections that are going to help me find the customers that are going to help me. They're going to pay me the money that I want so I can have the things that I want. You see, that's how we plan our goals. That's how we start working on our goals. And so we have to do step by step. Now, the next video is going to be about planning and then calendar. And I'm going backwards in time. So vision, goals, planning, and then calendar. So the next video, I'm going to tell you about how do you plan for each one of those goals to make it happen for you. This is Delta Tango Mike. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Delta Tango Mike, the creative genius on Behance and LinkedIn. Until next time, this is a Thriving Artist Art Life Short. Peace.